Hi, my name is Daniel Abrego. And this recording is for management negotiations. I believe our short video, we're supposed to be talking about our real life negotiation and just give you some insight into mine. My real life negotiation was a job interview. So, little backstory. I work for USAA. I've worked for the company for a little over 3 years now. And in my first 2 years, I was an insurance agent. Then I got promoted into a supervisor for the bank. So I've been working for the bank for the last year. Ideally, when you transition to a new position, they ask that you stay within that newest position for about 12 months. So I went ahead and did that. I just completed it June 1st. So it was right when the course started. So pretty much that's when I became eligible to start looking into other opportunities, maybe apply somewhere else. I love my job. I love where I'm at. I think it's awesome. In fact, I'm really looking and eager to advance my career further in my department. So I thought it was really interesting, throughout the semester, kind of getting to learn more about negotiation practices, talking about, kind of the mindset. And I think that's what, for me was some of like my takeaways and my success into what I really put together, when it came to the actual interview time. So what I did was I did go ahead and apply actually a few weeks ago for a manager role. There was about 12 applicants that they considered for the interview process. I was one of them, so I was lucky enough to get that far because that is something that's very challenging with USA, just the fact that we have so many employees, getting an interview is pretty much step one and a really, really big hurdle, should we say. But so anyway, I get to the interview. I prepared myself as best I could. What I did, there was quite a few things that were involved in it because I knew that it was going to be a quick turnaround process, so I didn't want to be behind on any step. So ultimately, I researched the position, tried to understand more about what it was we were looking for in our leadership, what our previous leaders had kind of brought to the table that made them a suitable candidate. Now, I feel that that was my opportunity, and I talk more, of course, in my paper about it, which was I really did the research on my end as far as saying like what previous leaders did, how they stood out and were recognized, but I didn't really think to research like what the directors were looking towards, and like the hiring managers to that regard. So that part of it was, kind of unknown, but I didn't think it was going to be a factor, which I later found out was. So anyway, sorry. I also researched the compensation structure. Wanted to see, okay, what are my previous managers getting paid? What are we looking at as far as market value as of right now? Because that does change from time to time. So I had already an argument for what I was expecting in pay, because I know that's what was discussed. So I wanted to make sure I was well prepared there. What I went through ultimately was 2 rounds. We interviewed to see if we can look for the position. I did do fairly well, and I think that contributes a lot to the class. There was some stuff that personally I thought, I need to work on and I need to well prepare myself for, but I think that, getting this little practices in class, also doing mock interviews, things like that, within my organization as well, again, prepared me for the interview. Unfortunately, I did not get the desired result that I wanted. So I was not given the opportunity to accept the role, and what I did do was reach out to a director, though. I wanted to ask for feedback and see, what really separated me from my competition in regards to why they were chosen over me. The feedback was really good. I mean, it was, it turns out that, as far as the interview itself, my question and answer portion of it was great. Everything was given to what they were expecting. But earlier, I alluded to the fact that there was one piece of the research that was missing. And, if we look back in like chapter 2 of negotiations, when we talk about the theories, when we talk about the assessment portion, I did the self-assessment. What I did not do and what I failed to do was doing the other party assessment. So I was assuming, that it was kind of one and the same, like what would they want in regards to a leader, what would they want for a manager seeing the previous candidates, but I wasn't considering like what factors have changed and what are they looking for now. And ultimately that's what the director kind of shared with me, which was, hey, our recent hires for a manager were actually outside of our department and therefore we're not as technically savvy, should we say, in the procedures that we do within the bank. So they wanted to really promote within the bank. Even though I'm a part of it, a lot of the supervisors, there's about a team of 12 supervisors right now. The supervisors that I work with, man, I'm truly the least tenured on the team. So, in fact, we have one as long as 12 years. And she was, in fact, the one that got the role. So, it's, again, a humbling experience because you learn about it. I see where I could improve and how I could get better for it. So I'm definitely excited for the next opportunity. But like I said, I think what's awesome about this class is it's allowed me to kind of take what's ultimately, a bad result and bad news at the end, and just, really understand it a lot better. Because, how some people can get down when it's like, oh, I didn't get it. But I don't think that really is a factor for me, just because it's like, well, I understand now exactly why I did not get it, and more importantly, we talked about this exact topic in school. So, like I said, I really think it contributed a big part of it, and I really look forward to the next opportunity to see what comes up. So, my paper, everything's been submitted. Appreciate you guys watching the video. Good luck, for the rest of the semester, and more importantly, up until graduation. Have a good one.